And we should be live. We're out here on Bluegrass Circle. We're going to cover Prairie Avenue and Short Road as well. Short Road's literally only a block, so it's basically Prairie Avenue. We're going to start right out here on Dell Range, though, so it intersects 3 times with Dell Range. There's an intersection further down there beyond Terre, and one more really far out that we'll end up seeing at the end of the stream. I do got a whole list of stuff that we're going to talk about. We do got the coal fire station here. I talked about this in the Dell Range stream where I didn't know exactly much about it. I did find out that it was built in 1973. I heard from someone that they had actually closed temporarily or something like that. Maybe closed for a couple of years. Maybe it was permanent and then they reopened it. I need more confirmation of that, so do not quote me on that. But that's what I recall someone mentioning at some point in a comment or something like that. Let's see, we got Joshua, Dalmatian, Coulter, Daniel. How are you guys all doing? Hey, Parker. See some people already in the chat, which is good. Unfortunately, seeing that there's only 4, that tells me no one got notified, or at least very, very few people, which is to no surprise. YouTube is being a big old dickwad when it comes to notifications, which is why you should turn on email notifications. Actually, go sign up for email notifications, so that way I'll send you an email directly, so that way you know when there's a video or live stream. Only exceptions are live streams that were not planned, but that's not an often occurrence. It's very rare, so you'll get pretty much all the notifications that you need. And even if that does happen, I always end up doing an email afterwards. I do apologize for the chaos that YouTube has been doing. I originally planned on doing a video today, but that's not how things went. So that's where we're at. And if we can rotate this around. Come on, camera. Ignatus Ipsum. Yep, we just now started. So we got the Eldred Eye Center here. We have a few different places there, a few different names anyway there on here. I'll get up close, that way you guys can see a little bit better, hopefully. Let's see, this was built in 1986. It moved from Logan Avenue. And it's been here since. So we got the Foot Doctor, Kids Aquarium, eyeglasses, contact lenses, all the good stuff. Dr. Rick Roper. And then we also got the H&R Health, or Health Reach, I guess I should say. HR is Health Reach. I don't know why I want to say H&R, probably because H&R Block. That should not be confused. But this was built in 1985. There is a small expansion I saw in the Google Earth between 1994 and 2005 on the far end of the building over there, and they also expanded again on the far end of the building. Let's see, what year was it? In 2008. I do remember it being a little bit smaller than it is today myself, and well, that's how I knew about it. They did how do I want to say this? They did do some expanding, I think, on the parking lot as well, or something like that. Some form of expansion or something, because it wasn't set up like this before. I think you used to be able to enter here, in fact, on this side, but nowadays you're expected to go through the main patient entry over there. Hey, Olga Ramirez. Today is August 1st. Spirit Halloween opens their store this month. Yep, a lot of them do. I know they opened their flagship store, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? Something like that. We also got the Bluegrass Professional Plaza over here, which is kind of hidden right now. It seems that it's mainly being used by Cheyenne Regional, and it does have some offices that are for lease. I do see a number right there, and I'll try to zoom in on it, so that way you guys, if you want the space in there, you can get it. 630-5161, of course, the 307 area code. And then we also got this building over here that has State Farm. I did find a little bit of info, but not a lot. This one was a harder one to find a lot about it. So yeah, TJ MAXX Cart over here. At least it's not in the road like the one I showed on Instagram stories. Which we will be walking by TJ MAXX later in this stream, so almost would grab it and push it over there, but yeah, that'd make too much racket. I think it would mess up the audio, so I'm not going to give you guys that hell. It's not in the road, it's on the side, so I think it's all right. But let's see. So the building was built, this whole building was built in 2006. In 2007, the street view in 2007, I saw something like Art the something. I couldn't make it out. There's this, 2007 Street View. Most, if not all of it, is the crummy camera stuff that Google Maps used to use originally. You can't read stuff with it. So that's the best I could do. 2011, there is a place called Act 2 Dance Studios, Dance Yoga and Pilates, that seemed to have moved to a new location. If it is the same thing as the Act 2 that was coming up in Google search. In 2019, State Farm, that's over here on the right, did open up. We have this vacant space right here that looks like they might be actually storing some stuff in here. Pretty empty overall, but definitely storing some stuff. I don't see the for lease sign on this. I thought there was one, but maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. TGX in an industrial park. Gets me. Interesting. I don't know if I misunderstood something. Great live stream for Sunday night. Yeah, there you go. I appreciate it. Yeah, we were going to do a video, but unfortunately the video is literally still saying it's processing, even though I can watch it in 4K, no problems on the watch page. YouTube has been very painful with me this last couple of days, so yeah. We got this place called BioLife Plasma Services. I'll zoom into the sign over here. There you go. Hey, Christian. There you go. I had to put my paper in my mouth because I only have 2 hands. So this, let's see. I have a build date for this as well. Let's see. I did find, by the way, before I forget, the Bluegrass Professional Plaza, this was built in 1996. And like I said, currently home of Cheyenne Family Medicine, part of Cheyenne Regional, based on what I could tell. And again, there are some offices available here as well. I showed the foot number earlier already, so I don't think I need to show it again. Let's see, and then the BioLife Plasma Services was built in 2002. And then over here we got another place called, I'm going to unfold the paper if I can do this without cutting my lip. Got another place over here that's called Cheyenne Radiology and MRI. The building was built in 2006, and I do not know 100% certain if it's original. I'd like to think so. I see a truck over there that has front range mobile imaging on it. Probably something to do with all the MRIs. The name is pretty suggestive of that. And you can see their sign over here. Looks like they've actually, I don't know, maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. I think I'm just crazy. But we got the Cheyenne Radiology and MRI sign here. You can see that this is also the Cheyenne Women's Imaging Pavilion. And you can see the road name right there as well, Bluegrass Circle. Even though it's hidden in the bush. Did they put it on this side? Yep, they did. There you go. That's a better perspective of it. Different color sign down here. That's interesting. TJ MAXX Cart in an industrial park. Oh, yeah, that is a little weird. Probably someone pushed it over there. They push them all over the place. See, I showed this on Instagram. One night I was driving down the road and almost hit one because someone had left it in the gutter of one of the roads that we will be walking down. I'll show you guys exactly where that was later in this stream. I ended up pulling, when I got done at the store that I needed to go to, I ended up going over and pushing it back to TJ MAXX. And that was part of my Instagram story for the day. Okay, we got this place called Physical Therapy Center of Wyoming and also Mary's Fitness. They seem to have, well, I guess they still got of Wyoming on this sign. Yeah, they still got it there. Let's see. So this was built in 2000. Apparently it was the physical therapy thing was started in 2008 though. So it might not be original. Oh my goodness. We got a fucking troll. Okay. GRM or moderator in there, can you do something about that? GTFO. Yeah, there's the building. It kind of, I don't know why, but I said this before, it kind of reminds me of like Gander Outdoors with the way they did the facade, but it's not the same. Definitely interesting though. I noticed the Mary's Fitness signage didn't appear until like 2018, 2019 area. Another interesting little thing I've noticed. Got another perspective of the plaza over here, the professional plaza. And then we got the Medicap pharmacy right over here, hidden behind the trees. They do have a little drive-through thing right there. Let's get to the front. There we go. Medicap Pharmacy, you can see their sign there, really nice and sharp. This was built in 2001, along with the Texas Roadhouse back over here. Looks like right now Medicap isn't open, but they definitely are still open, just not right now. You want to talk about lame? You're the one that's trolling in here. Go GTFO. I said GTFO. What part of GTFO do you not understand? Do you need me to say it out loud? I don't want to do it today. Don't start with me. I don't know if you're M or J or JU. I don't know. All right, so we got Texas Roadhouse here. I haven't gone there. I've gone here a few times. The chicken they have is good. The steak, I've had some iffy experiences with the steak. It's hard to get a good steak here for me. It's always a tougher steak. So I guess if you like, I've said this before, if you like tougher steak, go for it. If you don't, get something else. They have good chicken though. They have really good rolls. I love I think it's like a cinnamon butter. They have a cinnamon butter thing that you can put on your rolls, and that always is really, really good. I wish I had Mr. Movie set up as a moderator right now. I wonder if I can set people, I'm gonna hurry up across because I don't want to wait for that car. I wonder if I can set people as a moderator right on live stream. All right, so we got Terre right here. This goes out to Dell Range. We talked about it in the Dell Range live stream. It's a pretty short road, so there's not really any point in doing a live stream on it. Everything we can see on Terre, we can see from this live stream or the Dell Range live stream. Let me see if I love how this person just automatically took the inference. That's hilarious. Hold on. Live chat, can we do this? Okay, I now cannot even click messages. Thank you, Dalmatian. Thank you so much. All right, so we got Red Lobster over here. Let me get my dates out. You want to see an effort, by the way, before you leave, you trolley mofo. You want to see effort? I spent a good probably 5 hours researching for this live stream alone. For every single video, I take at least a day to edit, and usually more. My videos take twice as long as any video you ever have done. So you can go GTFO as hard as you want. That's a roast. And now I'm probably gonna get exposed for that, but you know what? I'll just have to give them a copyright claim, I guess. I'm not afraid of doing that. Okay. So we got Red Lobster over here that was built in 1992. They have done a few remodels, especially a particular one around the 2010-ish area. You can see the front door right there. Looks like it's pretty packed there today too, which is good to see. I know during Corona they weren't really open much at all, so. Hell, the person that just what came in here with the trolley comments will probably just come in here in another account and start trolling me more. So Dalmatian, just be ready for it. It wouldn't surprise me, they always do. So we got Texas Roadhouse overflow parking. They actually recently paved this. This used to just be kind of a field / dirt area, but they definitely have made it look nicer. Looks like they got a bridge there for people to cross over to it. They don't have to go around anymore, which is nice. Decent amount of parking here. Definitely better than what it was, for sure, I would say. And then we got the Barnes & Noble bookstore. I'll catch up on chat here in a minute. So the Barnes & Noble was built in 1995. As far as I know, it is original. And we got Edgewater Avenue over here, along with some other buildings. I did find build dates for those, mostly around 1983 and 1984. There were some new developments around 2000 to 2003 area, and there's a more recent one, including this one that was built in 2017. This is more of a townhome. This is more of a townhome that they did that's really narrow and tall. Kind of a unique design. I don't know what I would think of it. I kind of almost want to see what it's like in there, seeing just how narrow it is. And then we got Brook Court over here. I've talked about this in previous live, especially the Dell Range Part 1 live stream as well, but we'll go and cover it anyway for the heck of it. So we got a place over here called Rolando's, or Fernando's, I should say. This was built in 1992 as Burger King. It closed around the early 2000s. Definitely after 1999, as I remember a document pretty much confirming Kmart, Barnes & Noble, and Burger King open. I do remember coming across that many months back. During the 2000s, especially around 2007, 2011, there's a place called Tokyo Bowl, along with Rolando's in 2017 to 2019 area. That's based off of Google Street View because there's not much info about opening dates. And more recently, they converted it into Fernando's instead of Rolando's. But they still pretty much kept everything about it the same, including the color scheme and text of the sign. And they are drive-through. I have not tried it. I've heard that the inside is basically the same as it was when it was Tokyo Bowl. It seems interesting, I will say. It's more of a fast food style of Mexican place, which isn't something you see as much of. All right, now I'll catch up on chat. I'm doing pretty good, Mr. Movie. How about you? Hey, Real RTOT. My neighborhood Barnes & Noble closed last year. Dang. It's supposed to become a furniture store that's relocating from a former Petco in the same shopping center. Dang. More of the moving around. So many shopping centers over in this area. Well, really anywhere, really, but where that happens, where a lot of stores will be moved around a lot. I know North Glen MarketPlace is a good example of that in North Glen, Colorado, where they've moved stores around a lot. Like Office Depot moved from its original location. Bed Bath & Beyond did that, and there's a few others that kind of moved around in there a little bit. It's pretty crazy how that works out. Yeah, I know. It's a really freaking tall house. It's unique. I do gotta say that. It's pretty dang unique. It's so dang unique. That's why I say I would love to just see it, just to see how it looks. Because you don't see a building that's tall and narrow like that usually, at least here in Cheyenne. Maybe it's something you might expect in New York, but very narrow indeed. We got the other end, Meadowland Drive right there, which kind of continues on behind of all the businesses on this side of Dell Range, on the south side of Dell Range. Since there's not really a lot to cover there, I'm not going to do a season. I'm not planning anyway to do a season 2 live stream. I might, but I'm not planning on it. And then we got Spring Court right there. That's a dead-end road that has all of these various apartments. I see a Spring Court sign over there. I did not know it's called Spring Court. Again, most of this was built around the 1983 area, including the place over here on the left, which one of the spaces is being used by Denteffex, which seems to be some sort of dental place. Got the other side of Fernando's, or Rolando's over there. Fernando's is the current name. You can see their drive-through. And then we got the Subway and Inta juice combo. I've talked about this in the Dell Range stream. I still have yet to be able to find exact dates for most of it. Let's see. So I did find that this was built in 1988. Various businesses that have been kind of combined in a way with the Subway include Bagel Makers and TCBY. Apparently Bagel Makers was here before Subway, and apparently something else was here before Subway. Some sort of sushi place maybe, I'm not sure. But I have not been able to find a lot of info about it. I did initially think that TCBY moved to the pretzel makers, but as it turns out, after doing some further research, they existed simultaneously, so it's very unlikely that they have any connection to each other, other than that they are both TCBY. You can see their fruit smoothies flag there. I know Inta Juice has been kind of expanding lately with the more locations even. Okay, these guys got a green light. I don't know why they're not going. Okay, there they go. We kind of need to cross over there, but now the light's changed, so that's where we're at. We'll go around behind. I kind of want to try the Inta Juice. I still haven't had a chance to do it. Like the idea that they have with their kind of fruit smoothie stuff, it sounds really interesting to me. I do need to try it. I've heard that they're good, but just haven't tried it yet for some reason. Just happens to be one of those places that just I don't get there yet. Maybe eventually I will. Apparently I got a donation though. Fernando's, yeah, that is a former Burger King. My abandoned dress barn is becoming Spirit Halloween. There you go. We got a Pier 1 out here that's becoming Spirit, and I will be able to film this year. Should be able to anyway. I doubt I wouldn't be able to. I need to cross because the light just changed, and I'm going to continue catching up on chat. Thank you for the, I don't know how, I guess it's 221, Mr. Meavy. That's his own currency, so whatever SEK is, I guess Swedish, whatever the Swedish currency is. I appreciate that very much. That makes the fourth one that I've gotten so far in the live streams, which I very much appreciate that. I remember the Willowbrook series was a Spirit Halloween 2020. Surprisingly, it's becoming Spirit Halloween again this year. There you go. Hey, Tanya, how are you doing? Been watching you since you were live. Nice, that's all good. Jamba Juice is all over Houston. Hoping to make you up there by... I love that, man, I don't know why, but the thought of the troll just came back to my mind. I don't know why. At the end of the day, the trolls are so freaking funny. They're so freaking funny. He claims that he's that one specific guy, but there's so many people I could be possibly talking about that only they are going to know that I'm talking about them. There's so many names that start with the letters I mentioned when that was happening. All right, so we got the Center 1 Plaza over here. Oh, by the way, hoping to make it up there next summer. Yeah, maybe. Maybe some could work out. Center 1, though, we got lots of businesses in here. 2 of them are vacant right now, but the other ones seem to be doing just fine. The one right here that's Charles Schwab. This was Brown's Shoe Fit Co. that moved to a different location that we will be seeing in today's live stream. Let me see. I need to flip my list. So it's been Charles Schwab since 2018. Brown's Shoe Fit Co. moved in late 2017. And I don't know if there's something else there before Brown's Shoe Fit Co. It very well might have been original to Brown's, because apparently, according to their website, they've been here in Cheyenne since 1973. And that was before this plaza was built in 1985. So that would tell me that they probably had a downtown location as well, if I'm not mistaken. And you see these rocks right here. There actually used to be a building here that was the Quick Loans, spelled Q-U-I-K. Quick Check Loans. And they unfortunately did demolish it around 2018. Based on the style of the little tiny building, I'm betting it was probably built in 1985 as well. Let's see, what else do we got? We got Deirenfield Chiropractic. Apparently they opened here in Cheyenne in 2005, and they shared the space with Liberty Tax in 2011. It also was shared with Dr. Gerard's Weight Loss and Wellness Clinic in 2018. I did find that this was the former LA Weight Loss in 2007. I have not been able to find any info, unfortunately, though, about that. So that would lead me to believe that Deirenfield did move from a different location. And then we got the former Two Doors Down and Meet at Kennison's. I've talked about this in the past a little bit, but I've done a little bit further research on it. So this was Meet at Kennison's most recently. It opened in 2018 or so, give or take a year, closed by the start of 2021. Two Doors Down was in here from 2012-ish to 2017-ish. Scotty's Pizza was before that, which opened in 2009, and opened by 2009 and closed by February 2012. You can see the seating area in there. And there's another one here before that called Primo's, which was in 2007. I don't know what dates it closed or anything like that, unfortunately. We do got the Meet logo there for Meet at Kennison's. And you got the for lease info. Got the kitchen area back over here. I've done a short really looking in depth on this place, looking in from the other side as well. So if you want to check that out, check out Optopolis Shorts, the channel that's called Optopolis Shorts. You can find a link on my YouTube YouTube homepage, YouTube About page, and also just searching it in the search. And then we got another place over here called Horse Palace, which is a casino. This was Dirty Duds. I did not find a date of closure, but the Dirty Duds was here in 2011. And then we got the Premier Rental Purchase that is also now closed. This was a former Rent-A-Center, RAC. Did not find dates for that, unfortunately, but I did find that let's see, where'd it go? I did find that the Premier Rental Purchase opened in 2012 and closed in March of 2021. And I think the date is right here on the sign as well. You can see the info there as well. Again, probably same phone numbers and everything like that as the other space. I have done a short on this as well where we look in depth, take a look at the windows on the back, because there is the back rooms that we won't be looking at today. Yeah, there you go. Closed starting March 1st of this year. So there you go. We'll take a view from over here for the heck of it. So you can see there's a pretty good amount of space in there. We do still got at least one Rent-A-Center. I think only one Rent-A-Center. The one over in the Cheyenne Plaza over off of Lincoln Way. You can see their signage there though. Got the brown and gold outlet that has been here as long as I can tell, and same thing with Nutrition Company. Or wait, I take that back. Nutrition Company began here in Cheyenne in 2010 at a different location. So this was definitely 2011 or so when they opened up in this location. But I'm not sure what was here before Nutrition Company. I know there was a sign there on this side for something else before it, because I could see on the Google Maps Street View. But again, 2007 Street View, you can't really see that. So that's kind of where we're at. All right, are you ready for this? You remember that TJ MAXX Cart? Here's TJ MAXX. So this is part of the Frontier Square. I've done a live stream where we walked through the whole plaza before, along with this plaza. Again, like I said, we've covered this several times between the Dell Range streams and the Season 1 stream, and there's a lot that we did that really documented this whole area for the most part, at least in terms of video. For the amount of info that we know, I'm gonna climb up onto this ledge here somewhere. For the amount of info that we know, there we go. Though I did not share as much before, so it turns out that these two stores right here, this made up Dan's Supermarket. Let me find my info on this before I say this wrong. So most of this was built in 1985, including these two buildings right here. These two were kind of expanded on with the Petco in 2004. Let's see. So Dan's opened in by 1986 or in 1986? Probably in 1986. It expanded in 1991, and in 1996, I believe it was, Butchery's Food and Drug did buy out Dan's Supermarkets. However, they seem to have kept the signage until they closed. I did find that they were open till at least 1999 or so, before they did finally close. It's set up differently. So you can see where there's the concrete and the rocks over here on the right. You used to be able to kind of go under right there, under the facade right there, and pull up to get your groceries, from what I've been told. We're gonna let this car go first, and then we're gonna cross. And if we get up a little bit closer, you can kind of see where they actually expanded a little bit, like covering up the area where you used to be able to drive through with all this wall and expanding the stores out this way. I did notice in the street view that this facade was expanded on a little bit as well. So it used to be that the TJ MAXX wasn't quite this far, as maybe about where where you drove in at, right? You have the drive-in right here. Probably right around here was the edge of the store. And then more recently, I've noticed that, at least looking at the Google Earth, that it was expanded wider a little bit. And of course, the Petco, 2004 was when it expanded, and I'm 99% certain that that's when it was opened officially. It's been here all my life, pretty much. I've been around longer than it, but I don't remember because I was too young to remember that. Oh, man. All right, did we talk about Wendy's? I don't think we talked about Wendy's, so we're going to go over there and then we'll come back. I'm going to continue reading chat, though, as we get over there. Jamba Juice is all over the place in Houston. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they have a lot of Colorado locations. There's like 2 or 3 in Loveland alone. Like I think 2, and I photoed, or maybe there's a third one, I can't remember. I photoed 2 of them for sure in Loveland in a recent trip to Colorado. I think it's the one where I filmed the pizza ranch, in fact. I think it was that weekend when I took those photos. So we need to backtrack a little bit. This is Bluegrass. We got Del Range over here. We're going to be going back the other way primarily, but I forgot about the Wendy's. So the Wendy's, I've talked about this in previous streams as well. It was built in 1995 as a Boston Market. I haven't been able to find out when Boston Market closed or when Wendy's took over, but Wendy's is here now. It's been here most, if not all of my life. So probably around 2000 or so would be my guess when they opened up here. But I could be wrong until I can find further confirmation of that. And then again, you got Center One Plaza over here, just for a little bit of reference. Got Center One, Petco, and then you got the Kmart over here. This was built in 1991. It moved from Pershing Boulevard. It closed in spring of 2017, and in 2018? Yeah, 2018 Hobby Lobby moved to the right half of the Kmart from the former LaBelle's department store over in the Cheyenne MarketPlace area. It's actually a little bit different name for that part of the plaza, but it's still the same vicinity over there on 5th Lincoln Way. And since Hobby Lobby moved into there, Spirit Halloween has been using the left half of the building for their store. So far, they have not set up anything officially for opening up. As you'll see, there's no signs yet. At least I don't think so. And there's definitely nothing on the website, but I'm sure probably within the next month or so, they'll probably get more info in. I'm waiting for this one car. Okay, I guess they turned. That was weird. It's like they disappeared. I didn't see them turn. So, okay, now they're parking. Okay. It almost looked like they totally had just magically disappeared because when that truck went by. Oh, man. $221. Yeah, $221 in the US, but I was thrown off by the currency name. Thank you so much for the super chat. You guys can always super chat. If you guys have a message that maybe you really, really want me to see, that's kind of a good way of me guaranteed seeing it. Sometimes I miss the chats. It happens. I try not to, but I do sometimes, so it's a good way to make sure you guys get attention too. Because you guys deserve it. At the end of the day, all of you deserve it. You're all beautiful. Freaking no homo, I freaking love you for supporting me. So I've showed this before. Let's bake in here. Lights are actually off in there this time. Usually some of the lights are on, but not today. Or well, I take it back. There's a light right here on, but there's not as many lights as usual. I won't complain, it's probably good, but and again, you can see more of the Spirit Halloween stuff here. It'll be nice to see if they do come back here. They probably will. I highly doubt they wouldn't. Something crazy probably would have to happen for them to not come back to this location. It usually does take longer for the Spirit Halloweens to open here in Wyoming for one reason or another. The only one that we know of in Wyoming for sure is Casper, Wyoming, and we'll be going back into the former Macy's. It's usually a little bit later. I think last year in 2020 they did open a little sooner at this location, but it was still after other locations had already opened. So, and then of course we got the garden center. There are literally numerous videos on YouTube because of the realtor that is on this. Whoa! I did not see that coming. You see the garden shop entry doors? They put bricks over them. Whoa! That didn't even be that way. I did not expect that. That is wild. Of course, you got the garden shop over here. I've already showed this several times, so I'm pretty much just gonna bypass this. I've showed this in videos and live streams both numerous times, so we don't need to even peek around the fence this time. But again, you can see the old quote-unquote prison yard, as the meme goes in our community. I did not expect that door to be bricked over, cinder blocked over, I should say. Oh man. So there's a perspective of the Petco again. You can see a JB Hunt trailer over here, parked in the loading bay. And then we got a little tiny road over here. That I totally forget the name of it. It's a really weird name. Of course, you got the loading bay, by the way, for Kmart too. I forgot to mention that. I forget, there is a specific name for this little tiny off-road thing that connects up with Route Terre over there. Like I said, Route Terre, it goes all the way up there to Michael's. We're pretty much going to be walking right by there anyway, so yeah, I'm not going to do a Route Terre stream. Everything you can see on Route Terre, you can see in this stream or the Dell Range stream. So there's not really any point. I actually need to cross, but as I do so, there was a cart on this corner right here. A TJ MAXX Cart, like along this corner. It was nighttime, so I didn't see it. If I was by myself, there's a chance I would have hit it because someone left it in the gutter, which is a terrible spot for a cart. You would have been better off putting it over here in the ditch, but that's beside the point. So I go to the store real quick, I get what I need, and then on the way back, I parked and moved the cart from there all the way into the front of TJ Maxx, right in front. So they couldn't miss it when they came back to work the next day. Like the most retarded place you could have left it. There's so many better places that you could have put it where it wouldn't have almost caused a crash. It's a wonder that it didn't happen. Like, I guess there's not a lot of traffic at night anyway, but, you know, again, got Ross, TJ Maxx. This all used to make up that Dan's supermarket. Target was original. And I don't know how many of the businesses over here were original. Shelley's might have been original. GameStop is not original. AT&T is not original. I can't remember the other businesses in there. I don't know how many of them are original. This was all built in 1985 though. Target was remodeled more recently, around the 2019 area. I think they started like right at the end of 2018. They were starting to get the shipments in, and over the spring and summer they were remodeling a lot. More recently, I guess they remodeled the bathrooms. When we did the Plaza stream for Frontier Square, that this is what this is called. When we did that live stream, we did see some kind of portable bathrooms. They were in a trailer instead. You had to use them because they were remodeling them. And then you got Staybridge Suites Hotel over here, part of IHG, of course, which owns a lot of the brands, including Holiday Inn. This was built in 2016. I'm not even going off my list right now. I'm going off this with my head. Like, that's how good I've got it in my head today. I'm pretty amazed that I'm remembering so many dates today. Usually I don't. Usually I don't remember this many dates. And I need to catch up on chat again as we get up here to Frontier Mall Drive. What did Ignatius do? Okay. I'll look at that later. Have to sleep. No problem. I appreciate you stopping in, Mr. Movie. Randall's here. Extreme. I just haven't caught up with chat, bro. I can't always keep up with. I'm trying to keep up with chat, but sometimes the chat freezes on me, and sometimes I'm trying to read the history, so I can't always. I'll try to scroll through it eventually. I wish YouTube did a better job of popping up the super chats on mobile. On computer, you can easily just see them pop up at the top of the chat. On mobile, well, you'll see the money come in, but you won't actually know. You won't actually know until you see it in the chat. The good thing is that it's big, it's colored, it's a big old block, so I can't miss that. But I still try to read as many of the comments as usual. This is okay, I should say. As many comments as I can. Can't wait for Home Depot's Halloween fittings. Might visit it soon to see them. Interesting. I guess they're starting to get some stuff out. I saw someone put a post on Facebook maybe a week ago saying that they were getting stuff out at their Home Depot. So they did do this roundabout very recently. This was just over the last year. For a very brief period, it was a four-way stop until they set it up this way. Do gotta say it looks nicer. And definitely works better than what was here. Some, including myself, kind of would have to argue the stoplight product probably would have done the same thing, but probably would have accomplished it just as efficiently as this roundabout, but it doesn't look bad. They did pretty decent. They kept it simple. Right turn if you're in the right lane on either of the 2-lane sides, and anyway if you're in the 1-lane sides for Frontier Mall Drive. Speaking of Frontier Mall Drive, we got the mall over here, Frontier Mall, that was built in 1981. JCPenney was built as an original anchor in 1982. Dillard's was not planned, but it was built in 1997. And there are a couple others that we'll see as we get further up here. Let's see, Buffalo Wild Wings. What's the day on this one? I think I need to flip my paper. Yep. So Buffalo Wild Wings was built in 2012. And we got Discount Tire over here on the left. We'll see the other side of the building here in a few. This was built in 2010. These are all original. There's nothing here before except fields. There are actually seagulls here. That's a little bit unusual for Cheyenne. That's a little bit unusual. There's one there on that light, and I saw one fly this way behind the Buffalo Wild Wings. Man, there's a video I recently filmed in Fort Collins. It'll be coming eventually here, where there were literally seagulls on every single light post, just like that one was. Like every single one in the parking lot for a place that I was filming. And they kept making a racket too. Like, golly, I'm getting them. It's like the memes have switched. Because it used to be, there's another one. See that? Seagull. Big old white seagull. You got a sign over here that needs replaced still. This is for the Cheyenne MarketPlace, which includes this building, along with the buildings over there. I'm not sure if it technically includes Lowe's, Discount Tire, and Buffalo Wild Wings, but they are kind of all interconnected, so you could probably argue it that way. Let's see, Batteries Plus Bulbs, Dollar Tree, Natural Grocers. These three are all completely original to the building, opening within maybe 2 years of it being built in 2007. T-Mobile and Sports Clips Haircuts, those two were later, but they are original to their spaces, despite not opening until further into the lifespan of this plaza. We got Red Wing Shoes over here that's original. As far as I could tell, it moved from the Cole Shopping Center, where it once was known as Dick's Bootery. More recently, it was Red Wing Shoes, though, as a logo in their space actually showed. And then we got the Brown Shoe Fit Co. Speaking of Dress Barn, that took over the Dress Barn. They moved in 2017 over to this location, as I mentioned previously in the stream. And they've been going strong here since. Looks like one of their signs is taken off. I wonder what happened. I wonder if it got wind damaged. I know the wind sometimes really damages the signs here. So if they had a really good amount of wind hitting that sign, it might have been what happened for why it's not there. But the other signs are. And then of course we got the Famous Footwear Kirkland's. Famous Footwear was original to this part of the building. Street View confirms that this was the first part of this plaza to be built in 2007. I could not find much info about Famous Footwear. I remember it being located in the Frontier Mall for a period. And then they were in here as well. I don't know all the dates, unfortunately. It's hard to find the dates on that. But I do know for Kirkland's, they closed. Let me look at my date, make sure I get this right. They closed in 2018. So you can see in there. I've done a short and a normal video here. I've done 2 different instances where I did a video here. They had their sign there, Kirkland's and Famous Footwear. You can still see the Kirkland's label scar if you look at it carefully. And you can't see in these windows. So this is a Terre over here. We're not quite going up to it. I'm just going around back because I'm curious what carts are there this time. There always seems to be different carts parked right behind here. So it's kind of entertaining to just take a look. Okay, so this time we got 2 Walmart ones and 2 Vitamin Cottage ones. Vitamin Cottage is part of Natural Grocers, so. Yep, pretty sure those are Vitamin Cottage, pretty sure. It says commissionary on there. I'm not sure then. I'm actually not sure. Got Michael's Bed Bath & Beyond. Those 2 are still open. Those are original to the plaza. And then we got Hobbytown USA. I've showed this in numerous streams. It closed over the last year. I was able to save a couple of baskets and bags from there that the baskets are getting reused as they wished. One of them I always will put all my stuff in to get out of town, and the other one stores the hangers that I got from Christopher and Banks until I can find a spot for them. I don't have a lot of space, so I can't get a lot of the bigger stuff. Baskets are kind of like the biggest I can go for the most part. The exception is, I've talked about this before, the one exception is a huge ass freaking 9 by 7 sign. Oh my golly, I need to get working on that video. Let me deal with the trolls. There you go. All right, gotta catch up with all the chats now. I've let this dry up for a minute. How was your Sunday? My Sunday's been pretty good overall. Aside from the chaos of technical issues today, everything has been pretty good. Got the research done in plenty of time for today's stream. Usually I'm kind of running a little bit last minute with it, as much as I hate to admit it, but well. Yeah, I just was giving him grief. He obviously wants grief, so I gave him grief. At the end of the day, I pretty much am, Natural Grocers Cart here. That is a newer one. I haven't seen one like that before. That one looks more like the ones at Walgreens, not gonna lie. So you can see in here, maybe. It doesn't want to focus. There it goes. You can see the red and white, or red and blue outline that goes around the building. Yep, Petco, where the pets go. We got the Hobbytown USA label scar as well. And then we got the Kohl's over here as well. This is also original. Like I said, all built in 2007 area. Right in that year of 2007. All right, let me catch up on more chat as we get in front of the Lowe's over here. Speaking of Wendy's, I had Wendy's. There you go. Kind of been thinking about having a burger from there eventually here. For some reason, it's just sounded good to me. Why is the quality so chunky? Sometimes the quality drops and I can't control that. This is something I've talked about before. When I'm in a spot where I just have bad internet connection, whether it's I'm connected to a bad tower or I'm in an area where there just isn't much coverage, it always results in the quality dropping for you guys, which is why I try to zoom in when I'm showing something like a name or something like that. Sometimes I forget. I try not to forget. I don't understand why YouTube does that. When you zoom in, it's exporting a smaller image, even though you're still technically in 720 pixel resolution. So it ends up coming clearer when you are way zoomed in. So if I zoom in like this and we're, if it's 360p right now, it'll look really nice and clear. But the problem is you can't see anything. You only see the Dillards that's, what, a good 2-3 blocks from here. The other Dillards, that was a Joslin's. It's so retarded. And then, it's too hellish to try and stay zoomed in like that forever. It's very retarded how they made YouTube work. And of course it exports that, so whatever you guys see is whatever it pretty much stays as for the most part. It doesn't really get better after it renders, unfortunately. It's kind of aggravating. Dude, got Lowe's over here though. Let's see, where's my date for this? It's on this side. Lowe's was built in 2002. Again, this is original to this area. It was just a field pretty much before this. Got a vacant outlot here that is still for lease. And we got the Meridian Federal Trust Credit Union over here that was just built over the last year. In 2020, I believe it was. Yep. Got on my list. Again, you got the Dillards over here on the Frontier Mall, the main one that's still open today. Got the other side of Discount Tire as well. And we're coming back up onto Prairie Avenue, which is the main road we're covering for today. Usually I don't go quite that in depth on a plaza in a stream like this, but since I haven't really talked about the history of anything in here aside from the Bed Bath & Beyond and the famous footwear, I think it's worth covering it. I kind of talked about it a little bit in season 1, I guess, but I didn't really know much about it back then. Like, I didn't have the dates down really well. I didn't have the dates very as well as I could have. But then back then I wasn't doing all the research either, so. Had Taco Bell for lunch, did you? Jerami, that sounds good. Joshua Jerami. We have a Boston market in Texas and Houston. There you go. Yeah, we still got a few Boston markets, I think, down in Colorado. I think we do still got a few. Not very many, but there are still a few. I remember Super Target with the neon inside not too far from where I live. It got remodeled in 2018 as a regular Target. I miss their cafe and neon lights. Yeah, see, that's something I miss with our Target. When they did the remodel, they got rid of the Target cafe. It's now Starbucks. I won't complain about that, but I miss the Target cafe. I really do. They had really good pretzels every single time. That's why I would almost always get. Popcorn was always good as a unique flavor. It's always good stuff. Always good stuff. Maybe we'll cross over here since there's a little more on this side than the other side. Lights changing. And we'll cross and I'll try and catch up with the rest of the chat. I've missed so many messages. I tried to look for your e-stuff in your old videos, but so it depends on what you mean. Oh, I see what you mean, actually. So there's some very old videos where I recorded my intro in my room or something along those lines. In fact, I think the famous footwear video I did on this main channel, I think even that one I had recorded myself in my room. And there's a few instances where I did actually have a little bit of my East stuff, like my hat, my cap, right? Or my invitations and stuff. I think I actually do have a few clip instances where those actually did end up in clip. I think I do. 99% certain of that. And there is a video specifically that I actually did dedicate to it, but you're not going to be able to find that because I think I made it private. Unlisted, if not private. Probably private. There you go. There's an alternate perspective of Meridian Federal Trust. You can see their sign up there. They got their drive-throughs on the other side of the building. Kind of an interesting angle they put it at, I must say. They did go for a very unique angle on it. Usually you would expect a building to go more perpendicular to the road, but they went kind of diagonal, a little bit different. Got the food court entry for the Frontier Mall over here. Got the abandoned AMC. AMC closed over the last year, and they were removing stuff at the what was it, March or so of this year. I have an Instagram story about it. I think I have a screenshot about it somewhere as well, so I could probably figure it out. Just not going to be able to figure it out right now. This was a Cinemark, and before it was Cinemark, it was owned by other United Artists and one other brand that I'm totally forgetting. It had a very similar history to the Cole Shopping Center's Cole Square Cinemas, except that this one was way bigger. It started as a 6-screen theater and it expanded into a 9-screen theater, especially known as Frontier 9 Cinemas when it was Cinemark owned. Is it Cinemark or is it Carmike Cinemas? It's Carmike Cinemas. I got the names confused. I'm sorry. So Carmike Cinemas, not Cinemark. Those are two very different brands, and they should not be confused. And then you got the Joslins over here. That was the Dillards, the men's Dillards. You can see the label scars where the signs were. I did got some info for that. So it was built in 1983. It was expected to be a Joslins originally. You can see this on the various maps around the property. That was already expected to be a Joslins. But Dillard's bought out the Joslins brand in 1998, 1 year after they opened the original Dillard's store. And at that point, they converted this into a Dillard's, the men's one, along with carrying all the children's clothing and seasonal stuff would be in here. But over the last year, well, in 2020, they actually converted this into an outlet, kind of an outlet center type of thing, clearance center, that's the word I'm looking for. And they also made the Dillard's over here just full line Dillard's. And late last year, they closed this store, unfortunately. So now it still sits vacant. I'm glad I got what photos and video I did. I wish I did a full video. I regret not doing that, because this was where I went a lot of times for a lot of the clothes I got, like including these, some of the Metal Militia shirts that I wear. Let's see, let me scroll down more. What is Extreme doing? I guess I appreciate that. Oh golly, I didn't expect that. I don't know how to respond. All right. I'm not calling you a troll, Ignatus. I don't know why Extreme keeps deleting your messages. I'm glad I got the messages rolling on my computer, so I can always go back and, well, in theory, I should be able to go back and read the comment. Fortunately, after I close the box, well, they're deleted. So we got US Bank here. US Bank was built in 1981. I don't know if US Bank is original to this, but it's been here since at least 2007 as a US Bank. And then we got the Point Frontier Senior Living Community, along with the Life Care Center of Cheyenne over here. This was all built in 1988. Original, as far as I know, to those names. So over here is the living facility. And then you kind of have the patient care area over this way. So you can see the signage, a bus there, got Point Frontier sign there. Got entry to the Frontier Mall over here along with a Jack's. So Sears was here originally where this Jack's is. I'll zoom in so that way you guys can see the signage. Sears opened here in 1980 before the mall did, apparently about 6 months or so, give or take a couple of months. It closed in January 2018. Sorry for the tree in the way. It closed in January 2018 though. And then in 2019, Jack's began taking over and reusing it. This was their first Wyoming store, along with their first store in a mall. And since they opened this store, they have also opened a second Loveland location in the former Kmart. I've done tours of this one, the Loveland one, and all of them as usual. I've done tours, I did a video more like of the series here in Cheyenne in general, looking inside and also talking about the history of it. It was originally located in downtown Cheyenne. Got hands-on physical therapy over here. So I guess that's the name of their thing. I found another name, Frontier Medical Plaza LLC. And this building was built in 1995. I assume that's the owner and that's the name of it. I did not see the name of that place until this stream, so yeah, that's what happened. I guess I didn't look closely enough in Google Maps Street View, but that's my life, I guess. All right, Spirit Alloy is going to be in the Hobby Lobby again. There you go. I got some repeats out here. They're going to be in the Sports Authority in North Glen again. They'll probably, like I said, they'll probably be in that Kmart again. But then I got some new ones, like it's not going to be in Fort Collins Chuck E. Cheese this year. It can't be in the Big Lots of Longmont this year. I still have yet to see something confirming that they're opening a store there. All right, so we're out to Powder House Road now. This is the intersection of Powder House and Prairie. Over here on the right, we got a place called UC Health of Cheyenne. We'll see one of their signs over here on the right when we get across the street. I should have pressed the button, but like a noob, I didn't. So we're just gonna cross on the green light and with a hand. I was about to, but I was trying to get what I was saying out, and I wasn't in the mood to do two things at once. So that's, yeah, that's where I'm at, but that's all right. We're across and the light's still green. So this building over here was built in 1992. As far as I know, it's original. Have not been able to find confirmation, but it's pretty likely that's original. Pretty likely. Obviously, being UC, that's University of Colorado. So it's kind of connected to University of Colorado. Probably not just kind of, probably is. But you can see Cheyenne Health Medical Specialist on their sign right there, UC Health. And then we are headed kind of towards Dell Range, not quite. Well, I guess we'll kind of intersect with Dell Range over here. This is the third point where this road intersects. And it'll be interesting to go over here. I kind of talked about this in the Dell Range part 1 live stream, so you might know where I'm headed with this already. That garden center might be torn out. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do then. It's possible they might decide to do that. Maybe if a permanent tenant goes in there. I don't know if they would actually rip out the garden center right now, because there could be another business that would like to use that, but maybe they did that. I don't know. Maybe someone broke into the garden center and they just said, you know what, it's cheaper to just put cinder blocks in instead of replacing the doors. It's not uncommon. I've seen it happen in other places, regardless of my content. Like there's places that people just break in for some stupid reason. We are in another housing area. I found build dates between 1959, 1976, 94, 95, and 1996 for everything along this road. Stuff tends to get newer as we get farther down this part of the road. So most of the 96 stuff is like way down here, and then most of the older stuff is already past. Which I guess the style of the houses kind of would show it, wouldn't it? Yeah, the style of the houses definitely shows it. So we have not covered this in a previous live stream. We've gone down Powder House. We've gone down the other part of Prairie. At one point we did go down a good portion of Bluegrass, but we didn't cover as much as we did. Again, this is all with history, so there's a lot more info here that we have never ever talked about until now. At least not this in depth. Kmart garden centers were tiny compared to Walmart. Yeah, that's true. And Home Depot, yeah. Yeah, they are very tiny usually. Once in a while you'd come across one really huge one, but most of them, yeah, they were kind of small. Laramie, Wyoming is a good example of a pretty dang small one. Casper's was pretty big. It was fairly big. Maybe not the biggest, but definitely bigger than Laramie, I would say. JB might be carrying a product for him. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see if they do. I don't know why they would do it now. The space has been for lease for several years. So unless they have found another tenant that would be viable, there's no reason for them to do that. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Cutoff Road. Thank you, Tanyan. Yep, the road over by Terre that connects Prairie and Terre, that's Cutoff Road. Very obscure name. Got circle drive over here with a field. Between all of these trees is the bike path. It kind of meets up with Dell Range and goes along the edge of Dell Range over there until it meets up with Powder House and goes under the road and all the way up towards the airport back over this way. Hey, Blake's Retail Exploration. There's 2 retro red roof McDonald's I know of so far in Houston. One's a gas station, I-45, and one near North Freeway, close to a furniture store. Interesting. There is one red roof McDonald's that I know of that is still intact in Fort Collins, Colorado. That's part of a former gas station. The gas station part is now abandoned and pretty much ripped out entirely. But the McDonald's lives on, and I recently photoed it, and who knows when I'll post those photos. My backlog for photos is ridiculous. It's so ridiculous that I've just given up on trying to post things that people are going to be interested in. I just post in alphabetical. Like I can't, it's so much. There's so many photos that's just not worth being peckerish, I guess, if that's the proper word, peckerish over it. You know, you got just, you know, it's not worth putting so much energy into choosing things when you literally got all this huge backlog that is so ridiculous. It's hard to keep track of. Like I was struggling in 2019 and I didn't have a backlog then really, but now, wow, yeah. It's easier to just go with it. Just go with it. Plus that means I can get more places shared on the web that way. All right, so this is where it kind of gets weird. So if you go into Google Street View, you can see this for yourself. This whole road all the way up to Dell Range used to be Prairie Avenue. However, more recently, right here at this very intersection where there's a bunch of parking, they actually changed it into Short Road, which is very, you know, really interesting to me. There's no houses or businesses, so I guess it's a fairly easy thing to do. But you can see right here, Short Road, Prairie Avenue. It used to be Prairie and Prairie, but now it's Prairie and Short. Very interesting. And then you got Mylar Park over here, which I have yet to find any information about. I did look at Google Earth, and it was built before 1994, but that's all I know about it. There's a golf course over here. There's a playground. Disc golf course, I should say. There's a big difference between a golf course and a disc golf course. But for the heck of it, why not? We'll wander over here for a few. I need to continue reading comments anyway. I'm still so far behind. I have seen windmills before. Yeah, we got windmills out here. You can see some windmills on the way to Laramie. If you go down I-80. You might actually subtly be able to see windmills sometimes in my live streams. Sometimes you can see them from this far away just because they're so huge. The only thing updated the freeway McDonald's was the drive-through. Speaking of McDonald's again, I was going to say this. There's one McDonald's that does have that red roof McDonald's look, but it's green, not red. There were 2. Laramie, Wyoming had one of them, but it got remodeled, and I strongly regret not going out there and taking photos in my Laramie trip back in 2019. Since I was there, I went ahead and just photoed it, but Yeah, this is part of the disc golf course where we're walking right now. So there's a hole over here where you would throw your frisbee. Usually a more professional one, not one of those cheesy plastic ones. You try to get into the hole, and there's several holes on this course. It's a small course. I think there's a bigger one closer to College Drive off of the bike path as well, kind of near Rollins. Was it Rollins Drive, do they call it? I don't go on that road enough to know the name exactly, but it's Rollins something, and it intersects with College. So, and right along the bike path, right around that area, there is a disc golf course over there that definitely is this size or maybe a little bit bigger. You have that one little hole. You have a hole over here. I think there's 1 or 2 holes over there on that side of the lake. I think there might be one more hole further up this hill. Maybe 2 more. Maybe 1 more. I see seagulls every time I leave house. Yeah, see, up here, this is Wyoming. This is in the middle of nowhere, pretty much, right? There's no ocean nearby yet. Here we are, and we actually do got some seagulls. Usually I don't see seagulls up here. Usually I only see like the ducks and geese. That's what I was trying to say earlier, is it's kind of flipped, because Wally would always joke around about the seagulls when he's out in Pennsylvania or in that area, but here we are, and he is mocking gooses and geese out there in Pennsylvania, while I'm mocking seagulls out here now, apparently. Let's see, don't make a story about doing a trip. The oval sign is missing. Oof, I don't know which spot that was. There you go, so you got a rabbit here. Rabbit Reach. Artist Tim Cherry, funded by the City of Cheyenne Art and Public Places Project of 2006. There are numerous photos of people just taking a pose with this rabbit. Speaking of geese, though, there are some geese out here, right over there, just chilling. I remember a bank in on Little York Road near Taco Bell. Let's see. So many chats I missed. Holy frick. I am so far. Hey, Ackley. I am so far behind. I am so far behind on this. Hey, Mr. Cruise Fever. Wow, I am so far behind. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so far behind on this chat. I had no idea I was this far behind. Holy frick. Hey, Dakota Wolf, how's the weather on that side of town? It's pretty good. Out here it's a little bit cloudy. Got the sun going down. A little bit cloudy, not too bad. Pretty calm, not too windy. Heading out, did you, Ignatus? All good? Have a good night. Hey, Purple Haze. Okay, I think I'm finally caught up on chat. How are you doing, Purple? Oh, God. My hands are... need to switch hands. That's better. All right, so we'll go over this bridge, and you'll see the... Okay, there's another disc hole over here I didn't know about. So we'll take a right over this bridge. This takes us pretty much into the main area of Mylar Park, and then we're going to kind of shift back around and go from there. So I actually was trying to do a little bit of research on this park before the stream. Like I tried to before when I did the Dell range stream. I found nothing. I tried to again this time. I didn't really find anything, but I did find a photo of this park area over here with it literally being flooded out in 2013, the photo said. Said it was posted in 2013, so it might have been taken in 2013. I can only imagine the massive rain that must have happened that time to cause that. Got a area over here that looks like people are having a party on already, so we won't go over there. Got some of the greenway area though, the creek that runs along a lot of the greenway. And then we'll go over here. Sad that some of the Disney stores have closed. Yeah, it is unfortunate. We had one in the Flatirons Crossing in Broomfield, Colorado, I think it was. Or was it a little bit further south in the mall in Lakewood? One of the two malls. It was one of the two. I think it was the one in Flatirons. Either way, there was a Disney store in there that I had taken a photo of when it was open, and it was not the greatest photo. It's okay. But in hindsight, I regret not taking taking more photos for that matter, because now it's gone. And there's nothing I can do about that. I've only gone to the Flatirons like twice now, I think, so I haven't really had a good chance to do that. What is this? Boca ball. Ha! Boca ball court. Interesting, and then a way to keep score. Interesting. So that's what these are for. I was trying to figure it out. Got a tennis ball court right there. All right, we'll head back over this way. You can literally see the intersection Dell Range and Short Road from here. So your Chick-fil-A in Cheyenne reopened their dining room. So here in Cheyenne, the Chick-fil-A is still drive-through only, but you can go in and order and use the restrooms and all that good stuff. Just can't sit in and, you know. They have tables out front though, so you can actually sit out front and have a meal that way if you really, really wanted to. I've seen a few people kind of treat it more of a picnic, so there's a little bit of a field area on the side closer to Windmill Road. And I've seen people sit there right in that little field area and just have a good meal right there too. Yep, there you go. There's the geese. Gooses, geeses. I want the goose that lays the golden egg now. There's a movie reference. God, there's lots of poop in here from him. All right, we'll come back up this way, meet up with Dell Range, and go from there. Is that like a Target logo? Question mark? Yeah, maybe not. Oh, it's a... Oh! Oh, no way! I was not anticipating finding that. That's the C-MART signage. That's from the C-MART that we saw in the Dell Range Part 1 stream. That is wild! I was not even looking for that. I just saw it and I was like, that looks weird. And here you are, so I guess some of C-MART is saved. I mean, old school C-MART before it turned into what it is now, where it's kind of like C-MART and the Mexican place. I wonder if the owner of that store lives there then or something. I kind of do wonder that. Maybe for personal reasons, not something to know, but something interesting that'd just be kind of interesting to know, just to know. I kind of wonder that now. Just, it's a random thought. It's a very random thought, if I'm going to leave it at that. And then you got this outlot here that's for sale. I'll go over here so that way you guys can see the sign. I'll have to go on this dirt path and around. Yeah, that was so random though. Like, that's cool that someone has that sign. That is cool as hell. I'm not against other people having signs like that if it means they get preserved. I mean, I don't got the space to have everything. I wish I had the space, but at least at this point in time, I don't got the space to literally store everything. And we're just gonna cut through. They've left this wide open in two different spots on, well, technically 4 different spots on 2 different sides. We're just gonna cut through because I don't feel like going all the way around. So you can see the sign right there though that says for sale. Looks like we're gonna need to get a little closer to get the phone number on here though. Let's see, where did I put my paper? Ah, right there. Did you go to Frontier Days this year? I did actually. I'll just say this, special thanks to Blue, I was able to see the rodeo, and I also ended up having a good meal that night, which of course that was on my own leisure activity, but they have a different person out there that's running the food, so it's at least better than it was in previous years, where from my understanding they only got one washcloth for the whole night to wash everything, including the floors, that's not very good, is it? So it's someone different. It's a catering company out of Fort Collins, and overall it seemed like they were doing a pretty decent job of trying to maintain cleanliness. So I don't know how much, I don't know, I guess they are better than, you know, the people who are doing it before. I don't know how it is though. I want to know more info before I say whether it's good or bad. There you go. There's the sign though. We'll zoom into the number just in case the stream quality is dipping out right now. I meant to show this sign in the Dell range stream, but I, for some reason, just totally spaced it when we were doing it, so there's 2 streams for Dell range. We did this part in part 1. Everything all the way up to Converse Avenue was part 1. If you haven't checked out that stream, you definitely should. We saw a lot of retail and talked a lot about it. Let's see, how many people weren't wearing a face mask who were in the CFD? I wasn't there. I usually go Wednesday. That's weird, I went Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday when I went. Was it Thursday? It's Wednesday or Thursday? Wednesday or Thursday? I think it might have been Thursday. Yeah, I think it was Thursday. Either way, I wasn't watching too much. I mean, probably not too many, honestly. I don't think there were too many people. Maybe, and I take it back. There were a couple people who were at least wearing on their chin, but what good's the chin do? Like, if you wear a mask on your chin, it's literally like you're driving on the white line or the yellow line in the middle of the road instead of in your own lane. That's literally the equivalent. Like, either wear your mask or don't. If you want to have it with you and you don't have pockets, okay, fine, wear it on your chin. But if you have pockets, you could put it in your pockets so it doesn't look like you're trying to be a dick. Anyway, sorry, that was a random rant. I personally was not wearing my mask. I didn't feel a need to. Most of the time I was outside and at least a good 6 feet away from people. I personally have been vaccinated, so the chances that I'm going to get really sick are not that high. Like, scientifically speaking, if the numbers speak for themselves, you can do all the research and figure out the numbers for yourself. As for other people, well, hopefully the people that are at higher risk were doing the precautions they feel necessary. How many malls do you have in Cheyenne? So here in Cheyenne, technically 2. We have the mall that we saw out here. We've talked about numerous times. I may or may not be thinking of doing a video there. And there's the mall out in downtown Cheyenne that is the downtown mall. It's a very, very tiny indoor mall that has like 3 or 4 businesses in it. And that's it for Cheyenne. For Wyoming, there's only 2 other malls I know of, maybe a couple other little downtown ones that are hidden that I don't know of, but basically 2 other malls. They're, you know, bigger malls like you'd expect for an indoor mall. So, not too many here in Wyoming. In Colorado, there's more. There's not as many malls today as there used to be, but there are more malls in Colorado than here. All right. I think we're caught up on the chat, hopefully. Hopefully I've gotten most of the chats read. There's 2 Amazon stores in Houston, Amazon 4-Star and Amazon Books. Yeah, we got an Amazon 4-Star in the mall in Lone Tree, the Park Meadows Mall. I think there's a Books somewhere in another mall. I just cannot remember right now. Maybe in a plaza. I can't remember. It's been a minute since I've looked into it. Oh, man. Is there anything else I'm missing? I think I got most of it. Yeah, I apologize if I ever missed chats. So, once again, I do encourage you guys to join up on that email list that I have in the description. Hey, Stan's Journeys. Got in right at the end, didn't you? Is this car gonna wait? Okay. Sometimes it's hard to tell when cars are going to wait. So you can see the round. I want to show this real quick. You can see the bike path right here that I was talking about. It goes out that way. Meets up a little bit with Dell Range, goes underneath, and then it follows along the edge of the airport over here. What was I going to say? What was I going to say? I actually don't know what I was going to say. I just had a total brain fart. That's the other thing I should show. Right now you can see it pretty clearly. Maybe I should do more of a zoom in thing on this. So you can see right here where Prairie Avenue is actually engraved in the sidewalk too. So there's further proof that this used to be all Prairie, but they changed it to Short Road. And Prairie goes that way only now, along the edge of the park. Meets up with a few houses over there. It's not the same anymore. Not the same as it used to be. Alright, so I think I don't know when the next video will be. It depends on when YouTube decides to process it. I'll just do this. So I was trying to upload a video for today. I was originally planning on releasing it today. Well, it's not the end of the world that it didn't get uploaded today because personal reasons that I think I'll talk about some other time. It would have been nice if it worked because I didn't have anything else edited. I have only a handful of other videos I only recorded over the last week. So I looked at uploading that for today, and surprise, surprise, YouTube decides to just keep saying processing on it, even though it's processed. So when I go to the watch page, I can watch in 4K, no problems. It's clearly already processed. But apparently, according to the YouTube Studio, it's not even rendered in 1080p yet, which does not make any sense. I can watch in 1080p, no problems, on the watch page. And it looks like it's in 1080. It's in the proper format. It's in the VP09 format. So I don't understand what's going on with that. So I'll try to get that video up over the next week or so. And I guess worst case, I'll just live stream it. The problem is, I said this on my Instagram story. The problem is I could actually put it public while it's processing. You could watch it. The problem is that you probably won't get notified. It probably will not appear on my channel page or in search results or anywhere. You only will be able to see it if I give you the link, which is useless. That defeats the purpose of even uploading. So as long as it's stuck in that processing phase, I can't do anything about it. So hopefully the issue fixes itself, or I can figure some way of fighting around it. We'll see what we can do. But hopefully over the next week I can get that uploaded. And as for the community posts, well, you should sign up for the email notifications. That's what I was talking about. So I want you to definitely check out the email notification thing I set up. So there's a form down in the description where you can actually sign up for notifications directly from me so that you get notified every single time via email when I'm doing a video or live stream, except in the rare case where I do an unexpected one, which is pretty rare. So you'll get a notification no matter what, pretty much, on the day of a live stream or a video. You can sign up there. It's really easy. You just need an email, nickname or name, and say if you want some extra stuff in there. Excuse me, the deals. Because I am kind of messing around with some expansion, shall we say, where you might be able to get some special deals on stuff that I'm doing. But we're not that far yet. I do need to do a video talking about that more, but that'll come eventually. I do encourage you to do that though, because community posts have not been working. So I scheduled a poll yesterday that came out, I think, around 10:30 a.m. Nobody saw it. Nobody could see it except for me. And so I deleted it. I did the post asking if you guys could see that post, and everyone could see it just fine, seemingly. I got tons of people saying they could see it. And then I did another scheduled post again. I did a scheduled post for today announcing the notification for this live stream. And guess what? Nobody saw it until I manually put it out on like 2 or 3 hours after I usually do. So it's pretty clear the community posts are no longer a reliable way for me to get in contact with you guys. So I really, really highly encourage you to sign up for email notifications. That way you don't lose touch with me. So that way you get the notifications you want. Of course, you guys could always chat with me that way too. So it's it's free. You can sign up. It doesn't cost anything, and it's an easy way of being able to get the notifications. That works better every time. The only thing that could go wrong is maybe your mailbox is full. So I do encourage you to do that. And is there anything else? Probably do another live stream about a week or so, maybe a little more than a week since we're on the weekend right now. I usually don't do weekend live streams, but again, the video was bugging out, so that's where we're at. So it might be a little more than a week, but we'll get there eventually. We'll be doing another walking stream like this probably. I don't know which road yet. I'm still debating on which one I want to do next. So we'll go from there on that. Let me catch up on chat. I guess there's a few more chats. Just got off work and enjoying my dinner. There you go. Yeah, you have to rewatch this stream. There's some good stuff. I don't know why YouTube has been so buggy. So it was working fine when I last posted. There's no issues, but for some reason suddenly, even though I'm rendering everything pretty much the same as I always do, except that this time I chose to combine the clips in the shortcut instead of in the final product, instead of rendering it into shortcut. Like it's the same process. It's just the way I have put it together, I guess. It's hard to explain. Maybe I need to do a video explaining it or something. I don't know. Either way, I end up not wanting to process, so that's where we're at. Heading out for Are You a Christian? All good. I'm glad you enjoyed. So yeah, next live stream, probably a little over a week. I'm not going to say a day, just because we already know how the weather and everything else affects that. And for videos, again, same thing. Things are shifting around right now to where I want to focus a little more on quality. So I'm going to continue to try and drop one live stream and one video every single week. It's just going to be on a day that I choose instead of forcing myself into a Sunday, which 2 times in a row now it has not worked out so well to try and force it on a Sunday. So not going to make that mistake again. I think that's about it though. So I turned around for a minute. I'll show this before we quit. Maybe. There's a sign over here advertising the Ace Hardware they opened. I've talked about this in previous streams, so you can check it out. Anyway, I appreciate everyone who did stop by tonight. Thanks again, Mr. Movie, for the donation, for the super chat. I do very much appreciate that. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video or live stream, whichever comes first. Probably video, but whichever comes first, we'll see you there for sure, hopefully. And peace out.